Guys, before you go to the mechanic, try using Seafoam. And today we'll show you good reason why that's so, with many different problems that you could possibly have, such as clogged or partially clogged fuel injectors, carbon buildup, or valve gunk on your intake valves, even on a direct injection engine or GDI. Now we'll also show the Seafoam motor treatment as well and the advantages of it on an engine that definitely has a lot of varnish and could definitely use a great cleanup. Can Seafoam actually get it done? Well, you're really going to see, even on this too small of an engine. I mean, really, look at this. I'm just pouring the oil in here to really put Seafoam to the test. I made a see-through fuel tank and I'm running all this oil through the engine. And this way we'll be able to test it against the worst carbon buildup that you've ever seen on the piston and on the intake valves. Well, you can see it's definitely having a lot of problem running this engine oil. I mean, it's pretty much all engine oil except for a very small amount of gasoline, and apparently I'm going to have to warm the engine up, get a little bit hot before it's actually going to run on this mixture of almost straight engine oil. We have our fuel injector on a stand so you can see the spray pattern very well to see of any differences the Seafoam motor treatment actually makes when we add it to the fuel tank. This is the fuel that we'll be using to run this fuel injector, and I'm really curious for you guys to see just how crazy this turns out. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now you can see there's our fuel and oil mix in slow motion, and we even used a decimal meter to see the sound of the engine and how it changes once we've run all this engine oil through the carburetor. But we almost got our hand took off with that one, using this treatment on this vehicle to try to clean these intake valves. Please do this at your own risk, guys. It can definitely be dangerous, and don't try what you just saw me do at home, please, or you could end up really regretting it. Now you can see we're going to try and show you guys the compression before and after to see if it actually makes a difference when using the Seafoam. Here we have the before and after on the spray pattern, and I can see a small difference on that one, which a small difference is quite a large difference when it comes to fuel injectors. You can really see it cleaning out that Seafoam there. Just look at the piles of smoke coming out of the engine, guys. Unbelievable. Now we're opening this engine up because we want you guys to see just how bad the engine is after we ran all the oil through the engine. Then we'll come back, use the Seafoam after we put the engine together again, and we'll show you the difference in a side-by-side comparison. Tearing this motor apart. Well, looks like we're tearing a second motor apart as well to show you guys this one. Here you can see I'm using a torque wrench, a digital torque wrench, which are very handy to have. Now we'll go ahead and move the valve cover on the other engine. I mean, look at it, guys. This is pretty incredible. Check it out. I mean, that is the cleanest engine I've probably ever seen, and that's no BS, as you saw the pictures before. And I mean, there was a lot of sludge and varnish. Now, I've not always had amazing success with Seafoam, but in the right situation, it can actually help. It may need a second or third treatment. Just follow the manufacturer's instructions. Here we have the piston, and you can see it definitely has its work cut out for it, and the valves. Guys, keep in mind that this is actually a brand new engine that at this time hadn't been run maybe a couple hours, if that. And we're also going to run tests on this generator to see just how well the Seafoam impacts the generator as well. You can see we have a meter plugged up that shows just how much power that we're using on the generator, a timer, we're measuring out the fuel and Seafoam to make sure that everything's precise. Now if you would like to see any of these videos individually and watch the entire video, make sure you go and do so. But here we're trying to show you guys all the videos together. This way you can see just what you need to work out with your situation. Here we have the heater running a very heavy load on this generator to see what kind of difference it's actually going to make on the output. It definitely was having some issues with some carbon buildup, but I have done well with the Seafoam on smart engines. Here we have our borescope camera. Now we're going to go inside this direct injection engine to see what kind of luck we're going to have with the Seafoam. And in this case, it's one of the times that I told you about. Not all that great success. Basically, very little. But as you can see right here on the other side, we actually had a lot of success with this. Now, later on, there was definitely some changes with the Seafoam on the direct injection engine. Well guys, what do you think? I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is probably some of the best results that I've ever seen with Seafoam. Here we are spraying the Seafoam into the throttle, trying to have some good success with the direct injection engine, and you'd be surprised how these turn out as well. However, I'll say that definitely not as good on the smaller engine when we use the Seafoam or the non-direct injection engine. Now we're putting our engine back together and we're going to add our Seafoam just to see what kind of difference we can actually make. And will it help the compression out? Here we show you guys just what the ingredients are with the MSDS or safety data sheet. Hey guys, please stop and let everyone know what your experience with Seafoam's been, good or bad. It helps a lot of people in the NIA community. Thanks for watching Nate's Interactive Auto.